Oh, but I'm, oh, but if you got the love and you bide your time, you're full of ambition, we will be fine, so come on.
Playing all over the world.
Come on.
Come on.
Who's ad-libbing? Playing all over the world. Live.
Don't know it.
My heart was in it, alstallio, I can't die.
It's actually quite a nice track, actually, when it starts off. It kind of just drops in, just
Yeah, it really is. Listen. Before we go any further, I've just got to say hi to the person who's listening because they made a comment. Is Travesty on tonight? And was said yes. And they says, oh, she better be. So you've got a fan out there, Travesty. You have a fan. You have a fan.
Why don't I have no fans? Actually, I got told anyway. The girls are looking at me, you know, because I'm a hot guy, you know, so.
Hang on, has Travesty unmuted herself?
I don't know, man.
You better tell her.
No, she hasn't, mate. I asked her already to mute herself. Let me see. Anyway, let me drop this music. Welcome to Family Fair, everybody.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm back. I know, I could hear.
Allah.
And just a thank you to that number one fan. It's always known.
The first fan is always number one fan.
Number one fan. You've got that title.
Anyway, yeah, welcome to Family Affair podcast. We're talking about gratitude and love, I guess. I don't know, man. I just put that in the title. That's what I put. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's true. Go on. Can relationships last based on gratitude rather than love? In other words, if you pick somebody up because they've done kindness to you and you're grateful, do you think that relationship could last because you're so grateful, even though you may not love the person? Do you think it could last forever or even a long term just based on being grateful?
Yeah, it depends on, I think, that initial act.
Yeah.
Because obviously your gratefulness could turn into admiration, which then follows on to love. So, yeah, I think that could happen. And I think that's probably happened in many relationships, to be fair.
Yeah.
Definitely, because you do when you're in, obviously, a relationship, they're doing things for each other in that sort of relationship bubble. So I think...
No, not necessarily. It's usually one person's grateful. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, but you have to... Obviously, relationships it's something you have to work on every day you're in it. So doing things for each other, I know that this is obviously not what you're talking about, but I think you are also grateful within the relationship you're in. If your partner is doing things for you as well, that helps you stay with them as well.
Yeah,
agree?
yeah. Yes,
So,
I agree.
I think all relationships end up as gratitude relationships, and it's not like, I think at some point love changes its form or face or meaning. I think you start off with this whole, like, if you look at most relationships, you start off with this whole I love you and you're hugging and you're in bed and you look great. And after a while, like, obviously I've been in a marriage now for 11 years, and like I would say, you know, I see my wife now as a partner friend.
Yeah.
Like, I still love her, obviously, like that, but I see her as a partner friend and someone who, like a companion who's going through my life together.
Yeah.
So all this, I mean, this love thing is still there, but it's changed its meaning.
Alstallio, would you agree?
Yeah.
Alstallio, would you agree that it's a sort of like a comfortable love? It's like I sort of put it in that context as a comfortable love, because you've actually so comfortable with that person, just like Alstallio says, they're friends,
family, like family members.
Yeah, you are like family members. So yeah, and then when they do things for you, you have that bit of admiration to remember that they still think about your needs and doing something nice for you. So in turn, that makes you grateful that you are with them and that it's lasted that long. So yeah, that's what keeps it going, I think.
Then again, what about on the other spin now? What about those people who are in a marriage who are together for the sake of being together because they are comfortable? Because a lot of people who are in marriages or are together and are no longer, they don't want to break up because they're comfortable, but the relationships turn toxic or it's not really, there's no love there. I think that's another interesting point.
I think that's a better than the devil, or the grass isn't greener. One of those sayings would attach to probably those situations.
Yeah.
Because when you've been with somebody 30, 40 years, why are you going to suddenly think to yourself, come on, let me get myself together?
Yeah, hard work,
you know what I mean? It is hard work because you know how long you've worked on the said relationship. You're thinking of obviously leaving or staying in. And that's, you've put a lot of energy into that to getting it to that stage. So why would you all of a sudden think, oh no, I've got better things to do? Plus, with people generally, as you're getting older, you're what is it? What's that word? It's gone. When when you're young and you just skip to a different partner, left, right, center, not even give two thoughts. Your self-esteem drops as you get older, and you're thinking, well, I haven't got that same pool of people I had when I was young.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
it.
sort of plays
your
on
worth
you as well.
Your self-worth.
Yeah, you actually drops as you get older. And you think, actually, this person still wants me. You think to yourself, well, nobody wants them either, so you might as well stay.
Actually, I think that's the thing. See, I'm actually reading a book, what did the woman say? A woman reached us. Listen to this. I'm still reading this book. Second Sex. Anyone's following the show? No, I'm reading this book, and she says in it. Yeah, she says in it is that women reach their peak sexuality at 35, just in time for them to no longer be worth anything on the market. I think that's really sad. So really, after 35, it's basically like women are not seeing a partner as like interesting anymore because they're past they have a sell-by date. That's really sad, actually.
It is bad. It is bad, and it's instilled in as you're growing up because everybody knows all the young people get all the attention. Because even when you're going out, when you reach 30 and you're going out, all you're seeing in the clubs is the 18 to 25s. And you think, bloody hell, I'm actually old, and they look at you as an old person.
I'm sorry, but I beg to differ with that.
All call me granddad at the moment.
Said. I'm sorry, I beg to differ with what that woman says. She should not have said that. She has wrecked a lot of women that aged their self-esteem straight by saying that.
But you don't think, wait. I think you need to understand it. She says that women generally reach their sexual peak at 35. But listen, I'm going to elaborate on it. She doesn't. She says that a lot of women. She was in a different direction. I just wanted to say that I thought that statement was quite profound.
Yeah.
He was saying that women don't realize they have like sexuality, when they're younger, so they don't really express themselves sexually until they're 35.
I agree with
After
that.
35, it's like something wakes up in a woman, which makes her feel like, I want to look sexy, I want to be more attractive, and she really learned to say that. And by this time, their husband have seen them, had them spent so much time and got so used to them that their sexuality, their new found sexuality, doesn't work on their husband. Yeah, so that's when they're generally more likely to cheat.
That's all well and good. That's all well and good because a lot of women could start then at that age.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But that then pushes them out to cheat because they want to find out someone who appreciates their newfound sexuality. So at 35, a woman's the most likely at this stage in her life to go out and try and find
the next man,
someone else,
and leave. Yeah, it's more like
maybe women should wait till that time of maturity to
get married. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Like
if you listen to 5 minutes with alstallio, you hear that I say that men shouldn't have got no business being in a relationship until at least 35 to 40.
Yeah.
And women the same. Women about 30. Women should get to 30, and men should be waiting until 40 to get with somebody and having kids. That's it.
Exactly.
Just wait.
Tried and tested method.
Yeah, no, I agree.
In this day and age, there is no rush. Like in the 50s, 60s, even in the 40s and 30s, there's no rush to get married and settle down in your teen years and
early 20s. You're still young.
Living life. You shouldn't even want to be mothers at that age. It's killing off your life before time.
Well, that's not true, actually. I think there's a benefit to having kids when you're young.
No, there's not. The
Yeah, because
only
you can get
benefit
your
is
life back.
up and down. The negative side to having children very young is you haven't got the life experience to teach them. You don't know how. A lot of, not all of them. There are some exceptions to the rule. Before anybody jumps on me, um, you haven't got a lot of people haven't got the mentality to teach them things that are very important, even basic things they find it hard to teach. Remember, they haven't got a lot of them haven't got the love to give them because they're too busy loving themselves and wanting to just run up and down and run wild. So you should live your life while you're young and start having children later on, late 20s, early 30s. Have your children then because you've lived some life.
And I
Yeah.
agree with
Plus, on top of
Mideyah
that,
there.
and
You
on
pick the
top,
wrong
and on top
partners
of
as
that,
well.
yeah, and on top of that, when you're a teenager and you're 20s, you can start to build your life if you can get a job. You know, you can establish a career if you can. Not everybody will, but if you can, so at least you've got something solid to bring that child or children into. So there is no as you say, Alstallio, the only positive to having children young is because you run wild with them. But there's
Yeah.
nothing much else. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
there isn't.
And you know what? If you did leave it till later in life, I know that we've gone off in the tangent as usual, Mideyah.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's interesting.
Well, the only thing to have them younger in life as well. Oh God, it's gone. That's because I made that cheeky comment. This is karma.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you, Mideyah, that basically if you have kids when you're young, that means at the back end of the kids getting older, you get your freedom back quite quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas like with like when you have several, like we're older now, so we had kids post 30.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh no, now from my 30s to my 40s and maybe to my mid 40s, I don't have any
You've
freedom
got kids.
anymore.
Yeah.
But what
Kids,
does
but
it
freedom.
matter? What does that actually matter?
Yeah, because for
What is
me,
it you want freedom
wow,
for?
the thing is, sometimes people miss. Like I always suggest that people should leave school and go and travel for 10 years.
Yeah, do something.
From
Yeah,
16
whatever.
to 26, go and travel. Then or study, go to finish school, go to study, then go to travel. And then when you get back, then try and figure out if you want to find somebody, if you want to do that, get a job, get some money behind you, and then try and find somebody if that's what you want. And
Yeah.
then try and with mid 30 to 40s when you should start, settling down, making a family, etc. etc. The only thing is with women, we do know that once they get post 30, their chances of having kids goes down dramatically, and that's probably one of the issues why women tend to try and get somebody quickly as well.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
but in this day and
Also,
age, a lot of women don't want a lot of kids anyway, so it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
That's
they
be
true.
are
honest.
having them a bit later,
Yeah.
definitely.
One
But
or two
with
kids enough.
having the kids younger as well, you're choosing the wrong partners to have these kids
Yeah.
with.
Yes, you
as
are.
well,
Yeah.
and that's why there is more probably single parents than there was. Well, I wouldn't say previously because in the old days it was get married then have the kids.
Yes,
But
it was. Yeah.
there's always
And they
been
did
young.
stick it out though. They did stick it out though.
Well,
But
that's only because of circumstances more
yeah,
time because obviously the Women's
Shunned
Act
upon,
and you
innit?
couldn't do anything without a man
yeah,
before the 70s. So you had to stay out or she was going to starve and be homeless.
yeah. That's true.
So it's just changed with the times.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely. Getting back to the obviously initial subject title, I
Yeah,
think you can turn into love and gratitude depending on how nice the person is and depending on how grateful a person you are as well. Because there's a
yeah.
lot of ungrateful people out there. You'll do a lot for them,
Very true.
and
Very true.
they'll walk over you and bleed you absolutely dry.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
I think if there's no gratitude in a marriage or in a relationship, that
or
won't
hidden
last long
agenda.
anyway.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
won't
I
last long
agree with
anyway.
what you're saying, Astalia.
Hmm.
Well,
But do
there's
you
a hidden.
really think somebody should be with someone because they're grateful they got someone and they didn't think they could get anyone else? So I might as well be with this person, and I'm grateful that someone's shown this interest in me and is willing to take care of me because I don't think that's a good
Yeah,
basis
you know
for
what?
a
No.
Yeah,
relationship
you know
last.
why? Sometimes because
Hmm.
in life, everybody thinks they're guaranteed to have somebody.
Hmm.
Sometimes you could only have that one chance.
Yeah.
And then I've seen people who've only been out with like one person and then
Mhm.
they've had nobody for the rest of their life. Is that really a
Mhm.
life to be and have?
There's nothing wrong with that though. It's
There's
their
nothing
choice.
wrong with it, but you have
Yeah.
to have had some kind of human love and connection through your adult life.
But they
You-
did, didn't they, with the one person? That was enough for
Yeah,
them.
but
Maybe.
no, I'm talking about people who have like had that person when they were young and then they're nearly 40 odd plus now, and and they've not had a serious relationship since. Is that really a life to have? What is wrong with you that you messed up that one chance you had, and then
Not
all the way
necessarily
till now?
anything wrong, love. Not necessarily
Well,
anything wrong. Maybe things went wrong, and maybe they thought, well, I don't want to be like this again. Maybe they don't want to be in a long term because probably they didn't enjoy it. They might be
Probably
enjoying their
draining as
freedom.
well. You got to look at
Yeah,
the
it
fact
could
that being with
draining.
that
Yeah,
person from when you're like,
yeah,
15, 16, your high school sweetheart, you invest everything. You give them your first everything, your last everything.
exactly,
And then
exactly.
you're 26, 27 or 30 or whatever. And you think, hold on, I've spent all them years. I was meant to go on the girls' trip or the lads' trip. I was meant to travel. I didn't even go to uni. I didn't have this chance.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's the case of you've just given your all and you're just
Yeah,
lost your energy to give that again. Like, do you think,
exactly.
oh, can I do that again? Can I do another 10 or so years of that again?
but will you then in turn back and think, well, I had that opportunity and I messed it up
Do you think the
back
That's
case of
then,
right.
and
someone,
then I've not nobody serious since because nobody takes me serious,
you
or
know,
I can't
do you,
find what I had then
do you,
again.
do you think that when
No two
somebody,
relationships will ever be the
Oh
same, though.
yeah.
yeah, I guess so,
So
but do
That's
you
you
think
true.
shouldn't
that,
be looking for that
hello,
again. That's where your
hello,
mistake is.
I'd love to
Oh
say
God.
something. I'm
Have you?
Go
thinking,
on.
I'm still here. I'm trying to say something.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
go
tell
I
you,
on.
was
you've
thinking,
got plenty of shows. You can say more on that shows.
that's true, actually, man. That's not fair. That's not fair. This is the show I get to speak on the most. All the
Yeah,
rest
go
of the
on
show,
then.
don't get worded edgeways on any other show because everyone's talking, blah, blah, blah. That's why I
Come
got
on, give
five.
Alstalio the floor. Give
That's why,
Alstalio the
that's
floor.
why I
Come
did
on.
5 minutes with Alstallio that no one seems to listen to.
Yeah.
That's the only place I can actually talk. I'm like, wait there, no one listens to me, man. It doesn't matter, right? As
I
long as
thought
everyone
that you
gets
said
happy.
the girls only watch you, so obviously nobody's going to listen to you.
No, they see because they see me on the obviously Black Couplets podcast on
Oh,
Tuesday, so they see me on there and they're like, "Oh, is
oh,
that guy there?"
I'll
My,
see you
my
seeing me,
tufty,
seeing you.
what tufty, yeah, what tufty.
Yeah.
Do you think that some people accept the wrong kind of partner because they're so afraid of not finding anybody, the right person?
That's
So
the
you might end
As
up,
gratefulness
well,
in
yeah.
them.
yeah. So that's it. So
That's
you
the
might end up.
gratefulness.
I do believe that a lot of people end up with someone who's selfish or ungrateful. Like I know a couple of obviously my wife's in that kind of industry or field, so I hear a lot of the stories on the grapevine how some people are like together, and the guy or the woman in question is very selfish and doesn't really care about what's going on, doesn't take care of the kids and stuff. And I'm like, why are these guys still together? But they stayed together anyway. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Why don't you
Because
just
it's a
leave?
habit.
Just leave.
It's
And that's it.
habit.
It's just habit, is it? Isn't it? But
Yeah.
is there any help with that? Can anybody turn, become more considerate at some point, or is that it? Once you got
No, I
somebody who's
think that's it.
selfish and you accept and think to yourself, I'm going to just ignore that. Maybe I can change them.
No, you can't. Leopards don't change the spots, do they, really? They just become better at it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I want to know what
That's
happens
all
to
it
people
is.
who are really like, really like selfish throughout their whole life, and then they meet
You know
somebody and then
what?
they realize they lose
There's-
everything.
They get matched up with a selfless person and then it equals it out.
Oh, okay.
Or you meet another selfish person and it makes you take heed and think, oh, am I like this as well? Then that could be a wake up call also.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
I
mean?
also,
So
but
you
I
always get to
believe
taste your
though,
karma.
not only that, I look at it on the flip side of when you're with different partners, they bring different sides out of you, depending on who
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
No,
Definitely.
I want to go back to the fact that I don't get to talk about podcasts. Now I'm going to go on a
Oh,
rant.
here we
Go
go.
on then.
Oh no. Is
Go on
is
then.
this one of the topics? So we're not discussing this for a couple of
Come on.
weeks.
Let's
Come on, get it off your chest,
Rant.
No,
Alstalio.
I got nothing to say.
Tell
I
the
just thought that was
family.
funny. I just thought that was
Yeah.
funny. That you
Well,
could-
you know, I'll come here to jazz up the show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You just come in like, yeah, well, you got enough podcasts.
You know what I mean? Give us that little half an hour.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We've worn out that topic. Let's go to the next one. I don't know.
Before we get to the topic, briefly touch on which this was mentioned, and I thought I'd bring it to you to see what your thoughts were on it. The election. The election's over, and all of a sudden we've got a vaccine. Do you think there's a connection there? Anybody like to start?
Depends. Where you got a vaccine? Are we talking about UK or in America?
Well, I think the vaccine. Well, there was news saying they found a vaccine, and it's 90. Is it 98 or
accurate,
90?
yeah. 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does that? I mean, that has nothing to do with the election in England, does it?
Are you
Really?
sure?
Nah. I think if anything, that would have been a good point for Trump to win in the end. But the vaccine's coming anyway. The vaccine's coming anyway. They're going to keep. I told you they're going to keep us in lockdown until next spring or summer until we've just had enough. You know, people are going to kill themselves. Marriage are going to break down, just enough, and then they'll say, "Okay, we got the vaccine. Who wants it?" And everyone just run through the door and try and get it. That's what's going to happen.
Oh well, as I say, patient man ride donkey. I'll be riding the donkey because I will not be taking the vaccine. No amount of lockdown is going to stop me. It's not going to make me want no vaccine.
I want to know I want to know if they're really going to try and are they going to be crazy enough to try and force us? Because a lot of people are really pushing back. And you got, like I said, all these religious people who are like, no, this is it. This is the mark of the beast. I never know about. How are they going to convince all these people? Is it going to be a case of they build two societies after that? They say, okay, the vaccine people go here and all the people who are outside. Like Max, remember Mad Max, the world of Mad Max? There was always like the outsiders. Yeah. There was the people who listened and they heeded to the rules. And there was the people who didn't and they had to leave and they were like living in this gungy, scorgy kind of, which looked horrible, which wouldn't even be the case in reality. I can't imagine that, you know, that would be how the world would be if we was not allowed to go into the nice place.
Too many people, too many rebellious people out there.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the things like Hunger Games and all them kind of shows?
Yeah, stuff like this, yeah. There's all these ideas that Hunger Games or 1984, stuff like this.
There's, and what's it called? The Scorch Trials and all that.
Yeah, all this stuff.
That's zombies and stuff, isn't it, really?
That's what they're thinking, you know, that might happen. But I don't think, I can't imagine they're going to try and give us all the vaccine. I really think, when I listen more and more to it, I think that people are going over the top. People are proper scared. There's too many people against. It's just not going to work this time around. What they will do, though, there will be a point where everyone gets the vaccine, but we won't be allowed to see it. Because once they make things normal, like, look, think about our kids. They never know about black and white TV. They never know about a telephone with a cable. They don't know about that stuff. So for them, a vaccine will be normal when they get old enough. But for us, the older generation, look, religion is almost gone. So in a couple of generations, religion will be completely gone. Everyone will be moving away from it. So they'll be able to do what they want with us. Right now, it's not going to wash with this generation of people, regardless of what they think. It's too soon. Regardless of what they think, it's too soon.
What will happen is the sheep will have it done, and that will satisfy the government. Yeah. They will exaggerate and say, "Oh, more people have taken it than actually have."
Oh, you know, definitely. The government's always
like they exaggerated. Oh, the latest is, oh, England's got the highest death rate of COVID, and I'm thinking, here we go again. Here we go again.
Well, you know, the government sneakily made sure we're getting our herd immunity by making all the kids get infected and sending these infected kids home to infect the rest of the families.
Yeah.
And at the beginning in March, they said that kids didn't catch it.
Exactly.
That's funny, isn't it?
It's funny. But you've got to also remember, these tests are not 100% accurate. These tests that they're saying they're coming back confirmed cases aren't necessarily COVID. Remember, there's the flu and there's colds that people are getting, and it will read as if you're positive with COVID.
Yeah.
Until they have said that COVID has no symptoms like the flu, then we cannot say it's a COVID test. It's real COVID that they've got. I'm sorry, because the symptoms are the same.
Well, you know, I don't know. It's just.
Well, we'll see. We'll
find out in the end.
We'll see in the next 2 weeks in my house. Just like we did with alstallio.
I didn't have.
Remember, you was in contact and you had to sit there for 2 weeks, and you came on and you put it on live. Oh well, you're here, happy and gone back to work. Remember?
Yeah, I wasn't dead.
Exactly.
Didn't die. Didn't even have a cough. You know,
we'll
I didn't
see.
have a cough. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't believe it's as bad as they're making it out. I'm sorry. No, I really don't. You know, but that will lead us to the more serious topic that we have tonight. Very interesting in this one, yeah. Oh, now, due to the big changes made in the medical field because of COVID, don't you think learning medical skills besides first aid and CPR should become part of the curriculums in school so that we can become more self-reliant?
Definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Remember when they done that advert campaign and they were showing everybody how to sing that song? Staying alive, That was sort of a big initiative to get people to sort of learn how to do CPR.
No. I'm not talking about just CPR. I'm talking about diagnosing ourselves with illness and possibly helping ourselves to get better without having
Good.
to consult doctors, because the doctors have jumped on this COVID. You can't get to see them. You can't get to see them. You're having to wait weeks for a phone call just to say to talk rubbish in your head. So they're not actually doing anything for us right now. Remember, COVID is an illness. The doctors and the medical field should be at the forefront where COVID is concerned, but instead they've took a back seat. I mean, people who have been confirmed are saying, "Oh, go and self-isolate." So if you drop dead, they don't care. So what I'm saying is, why not introduce it into the school where they learn not just the basic skills of medical. Let them learn about medicine. Let them learn
It's too
how to
advanced
cure
though.
themselves. Bring it to a
I
deeper
mean,
level.
is
I
it?
doubt it, Estella. I don't think it's too advanced because kids are
Kids are very
sponges.
sensible.
You know
They're
what I
very
mean? And if
sensible.
you instill certain things in them from day one, this is how you
Yes.
use this. This is like, for instance,
This is
taking
how
your
we do an
temperature,
injection.
taking
Yeah.
your blood pressure,
Yeah.
things like that. They can be shown and they're learned by, just showing somebody. You don't have to read the book to learn that.
Look how a
So
1-year-old
I
can
agree
use
with
a
Mideyah,
phone. Look how
definitely.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because phones, I believe in the future, you'll be able to probably do something on your phone and diagnose yourself anyway.
You can already
Exactly.
do
Yeah,
that,
You
and
you know
do
it
what
it
I mean?
anyway with Google.
it's
Mm.
already pretty much
Well, you
available.
can, yeah. You've got a Google already. You're right, Medea. But you'll
Yeah.
probably be able to like touch something. Obviously, look, you can open your phone with your face. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? You'll be able to
Yeah.
touch it. You'll be able to analyze everything, what's going on in your body, and send you back a medical report.
Actually,
Wouldn't
saying
you be
that,
Exactly.
surprised?
when I drove from England to back to Europe,
Hmm.
there was went through the tunnel. There was like obviously in the area where you stop off, the refreshment area. There was a machine in there where you could stand in there and it would tell you if you was over had a high temperature or not, and you just
Do
had to
that.
stand in the box so that
Yeah.
it could
Yeah.
only read if you was too hot or not.
Yeah.
See, there's things out there already. Remember
China's
things
the
like
same.
Exactly.
Estadio, remember films like Total Recall and all those things and
Yeah.
Demolition
Hmm.
Man. Look at all those things, and
Yeah.
they were films from 1995,
Yeah.
94.
It was just a
Where are these
premonition.
machines at?
Where they're
They
just
must be
showing us.
somewhere.
They were just showing us the future, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where are they at? Because remember, in Demolition Man, you weren't supposed to. There was no such thing as physical contact.
Mm.
You couldn't touch. You did not remember they used to do that funny wave, and it
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
like semi-touch. You
Oh
didn't touch
yeah,
it with the
yeah.
air
See,
wave.
now that you
Semi
say
wave,
that,
yeah.
actually,
Demolition Man. You know
it's a
what
good
I mean?
point. Yeah,
It is, and you couldn't have kids without having a license.
that's probably what's gonna happen
Stuff
now.
like that. Yeah.
But that wouldn't be a bad thing anyway, because a lot of people shouldn't be parents anyway. So
Well, believe me, there was a lot of things in that film that have probably come to flourish, like come true. Because
yeah,
obviously, and RoboCop, all those
exactly,
futuristic films. There's no. I always say there's no smoke without fire. They're just
Mm.
getting ready.
exactly.
They're just getting you ready for it, and they're sort of like drip feeding you the
Hmm.
technology, so they can keep getting money out of you and keep getting you buying the new stuff. Because if they
Ex-
gave you all at once, you
Yeah,
wouldn't go out and buy anything again.
but they're
Because
running
now
out of
I've already
stuff
got it,
now.
innit?
They're
Yeah,
running out of stuff now, though. What can they
they
bring
are.
now out? What can they bring out now, which doesn't amaze us? You know, the phone's already made everything obsolete. Cameras, house phones, computers,
Videos.
every
Well, you
video
say
cameras.
that, Stelio. I just obviously updated my iPhone. We're not endorsed by iPhone and not sponsored by them.
Wait, did
Just
you have the
putting that out
12?
there.
Did you get the 12?
No, I haven't got the 12. I've still got the plus, the XR.
Okay,
But
okay.
when I updated, now I can speak to you in German by just speaking into my phone. It translates it and speaks back to you. And I
Yeah,
thought, oh my god, that's just made how many apps obsolete?
yeah,
You know
sure.
what I mean? And these kind of people, the big players like Apple and Samsung and all them phone makers, they're cornering the market and
Actually, I'm
putting
gonna see.
everything already in the phone. That if you want to create an app, you've got no chance
Actually,
because they'll put it on the phone themselves.
I got this here. Actually, let me see. I'm gonna test this now. You're right.
I tested it the other day.
I'm gonna
It was
try. I'm gonna
fantastic.
try Arabic. Wait there. Wait there. Let's see this. Hi, my name is Alstallio. Oh, wait, wait. Shh. I'm gonna see it. Oh, can I play this?
You've got to turn to the side, I think, and you just tap on it and it records.
Oh, wait, 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 wait.
مرحبا اسمي استانديو.
Wow.
Well done.
Almost. No, he said Estandio.
It still says it. It still says it.
Let's see.
So,
Let's see a German language. I can speak German, so let's see German. Today I want to go to the shop. Show me the directions, please.
Heute möchte ich in den Laden gehen und mir bitte die Wegbeschreibung zeigen.
Oh my God.
This is what I'm saying, brother.
It's actually pretty good, yeah.
Broski. This is what I'm trying to say to you.
So
I couldn't believe when he was doing that. I was like, why do I ever have to even learn a new language now? My phone does it for me.
Exactly.
I'll go to that country. I'll just get the person, tap on that, say it in English. That will speak to that person. Winning.
You know that will help a lot of people on dating sites who want to date all over the world now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We're becoming one new world order, like one.
I'm going to push back on this. I'm going to say there's something romantic about learning language. I'm learning, obviously, multiple languages at the moment. And there's something nice about figuring out the grammar, the way you have to change your mouth, shape your mouth in order to bring out certain sounds and words. There's something really nice about this. I don't want to rely on the app. I'll do that now, but if I could speak the language and learn the language and acquire the skill, man, there's something beautiful about that. Being able to converse with somebody in their language, in their mother tongue.
I can with the phone. I'll try and mimic the words because you don't have to actually use the phone to speak.
Well, you're gonna be like, okay, wait, because I'm telling you now. At the moment, I'm learning Korean. I'm learning a bit of Korean. Now let's see if you can mimic this. I'll just say something simple in Korean.
Just
look, wait, no. Believe me. Wait. Sunday is a happy day. This is Korean. Oh no.
일요일은 행복한 날이에요. 한국이에요.
All right, good luck copying that. Try again.
You know what?
일요일은 행복한 날이에요. 한국이에요.
No chance, man. No chance.
Holla.
Believe me, no chance.
Well, you know what? You say that when I was in Thailand, I was trying to learn their language. Like
Kampai.
Kapkunkai. No, Kapkunka. Kapkunkai.
Yeah.
Kapkunka. Use Kapkunka because you was a man. Kapkunka. You know what I mean? I was learning all that and trying to converse because it does make them more like happy that you're trying to learn and speak with them. You know what I mean? But when I went in to buy some shorts, the girl couldn't speak a word of English, so I had to use Google Translate. But I would have loved it if I'd already had this upgrade on my phone. It would have made it a lot easier, definitely.
I mean, yeah, it's good, but I don't know if it has Thai in it at the moment. No, it doesn't have any Thai.
I don't think it has. No. It's just got the main ones.
The main languages, yeah, the main big languages.
Spanish and all that. So, winning.
But they'll add it as they go along. You watch.
Yeah, of course they will. Definitely.
So, anyway, going back to the original question, because obviously we've gone off again. I think, like I've always advocated that schools should teach. People are being taught the wrong things in school anyway.
Yeah.
All this garbage, even like religious study. This should be something your parents should be responsible for. They should be responsible
I agree.
for religion. The Muslims have got it correct, man. The Muslim people pass their religion on. If you're interested in Christianity, if you're from a Christian family, you will get that religion taught to you. Do you know what I mean? If you're not, then you're not. You're going to take the religion of your parents. Anyway, if your parents are atheists or Gnostic or Buddhist, they're going to teach you to be the same. So that you can throw away. What else don't you need in school? History. Well, history's quite important, I guess. But certain history, I don't think you need all the history that they teach in school. You don't need to learn
especially
about
Black history.
Black history you do need to some extent, but you don't need the Battle of Hastings, man. What the hell, man?
You don't need the old-fashioned. You don't need the old-fashioned literature of English either.
You don't need all the Victorian times and that garbage. You don't need that. You don't need that anymore. Check that out.
Get rid of it.
What else do they learn in school today? Well, English is important, but I mean, you learn English anyway, so you don't actually need it. And most of the people who study English, learn English in school are not going to use what they use in school. If you look on Facebook, your average person can't even write a sentence. Actually, no, we need English. we need English. Including me, man. I'm terrible. Like, I'll write some terrible stuff sometimes. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? What else? Maths you kind of need, but you can scale maths right down, man. You don't
scale it down. Some of the algebra and crap you don't really need.
Yeah, Pythagoras theorem. No, you don't need that. Trigonometry.
I think that should be A level when you get to that part. Should be the basics.
No, that should be a choice.
You need your
10. Learn that part. I think you only need basic maths.
Yeah, your 12 times table. That's it. Up to 12 times table. How to plus, minus, divide, so multiply, divide,
and measure,
and fractions, and a bit of measuring, and shapes. But that's it.
Yeah.
Rest you don't need.
The rest you don't need.
So that will put in enough for learning skills like how to survive in the wild, how to build a fire, how to build a fire. That's one of the most important skills. If you're outside and you don't know how to build a fire, you're screwed. You ain't got no chance. How to build a tent, a den, to sleep, to protect yourself from the elements. How to hunt food. That's what you need to learn in school, man.
And
Real
learn
stuff.
how to spot certain illnesses that can be avoided.
Yeah, all illnesses. Like if someone's having a stroke or something, you should be able to see if someone's having a stroke or a heart attack, or be able to detect all these basic skills. First aid, how to put people in the recovery position. There's a lot of stuff, man, that they could integrate into schools, which I don't know if they're doing. I mean, I do remember doing some actually about the first aid. We did do some first aid. I think they do sexual education too. I think that's very important as well. Actually, I'm glad they've introduced that into school. And we need to do that a bit earlier, especially with the kids these days. With the access to porn and stuff. That's I'm sorry, man. They're learning younger than we are now. So
they are. Yeah,
they need to learn that at 7. At 7, they should be learning. I'm sorry for anyone who disagrees, but
I think it's 5 in England.
Is he 5 already?
Yeah, it's 5.
Jesus. Okay, well, that's a bit too early. 5's early.
Well, it's the basics though when you're that age about like your boundaries, and if anyone was to like
touch
be inappropriate with you, it's basically that and that. You're a boy, you're a girl, and blah 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 blah, that sort of stuff.
Which is a parent, you should already have been filling in them gaps anyway.
Yeah, my kids are a little bit backwards with that stuff though. They're a little bit backwards with that stuff though. I wouldn't say they're ready for it. I mean, like Senya, obviously, my oldest is starting to ask like, how did we come along and stuff, and we explain to them.
I'd love to have been there.
The classic mommy and daddy need spare times, and then when mommy and daddy have spare times, because that's what it was like. We said that we're gonna have some spare time. Like the kids are going to the grandparents because me and mom have some spare time. And the first thing Senya says was, "Does that mean you're gonna have another baby?" It's like, I was like, possibly.
Just at least being honest and not telling them that the stork's bringing them.
Yeah, I also think the mystery around Santa Claus and all this stuff, the fairy tales, all that needs to stop as well, because you're kind of lying.
Yeah, you are lying to your kids.
Yeah,
and then when they find out, then you stand there and they're like, "Why'd you lie to me? You said it was wrong to lie, but you did it all your life." You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, true.
It's I think all that fantasy needs to stop. I think we need to start being honest with each other. That's what we need to do. Yeah. Humans will benefit from honesty, a bit of honesty with each other, and then we can move forward. That's all I would say. Call me mad. I'm a madman, so I don't know. anyway, I don't know how long we've done so far. Is anyone got any tough topics?
No, we finished, love.
Okay.
I just want to say. Put the song in.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, actually, hold on. Let me see. I just want to say there's a lot of conspiracies going around there, and all these people. I just want to explain that sometimes the conspiracy theories are wrong too. It's not always the conspiracy people or people who say they're woke. I'm woke.
They're woke, yeah.
Just because you're woke doesn't mean you're woke. And just because someone doesn't believe in your conspiracy theory doesn't mean, they're wrong.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think there's a bit of truth in everything, and a lot of people on both sides are lying. Especially I've seen, especially this time around with the Trump administration, the presidential election, and all that stuff. Now I'm like even more like, hold on a minute, I don't trust anybody anymore. You can't trust anybody. So I just want to end on that note really and say, find your own path. Believe what you want to believe yourself, but don't never try and enforce your beliefs on anybody else, because not everybody shares your opinion. So
I agree.
So we can go out of the table now. Anyone? We start with Travesty today. Travesty, what you got, man?
Oh, I agree with what you said, and I'll just continue from there. Obviously, what you've got to educate yourself always, because one little saying a great woman said to me was, "Whatever's done in the dark will come out in the light."
Very true.
Don't worry, it will all come out in the end, and we will be there for the truth. And we can either say, "I told you so," or, "Oh, all right then, it was right." You know what I mean? So just like you said, keep your opinions to yourself, because some people will have egg on their face in the end.
Yeah. Put in.
I I don't know, really. I just want everyone to say, I don't know. I don't know. Everyone just keep safe. Everyone just keep safe. You know what it is? I'll be honest. It's the case of this is the first time throughout the whole of lockdown. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I want Boris to let us out. I can't wait if December the 2nd happens. The
Ain't gonna happen, man.
out. I would love to go and treat myself to a mailbox fancy restaurant. That's what I'd love right now. That's all I want to say. I'm feeling the heat. I'm feeling the heat.
All the restaurants are closed, and it's the same here as well.
Yeah.
All the restaurants are locked off. You can only take out.
Sort of closed.
You can only take out here. That's it. No sitting restaurants. Mideyah, last but not least, of course.
Yes, I just want to say to people out there, start to research how you can learn about medical and medicines, because the doctors are letting us down, the medical fields are letting us down, so we need to become self-reliant when it comes to our bodies and our health. So please start researching how you can learn about health, diseases, illnesses, so you can help yourself in this horrible time. Yeah. Stay safe.
Google is a great place to start for that. Guys, thank you very much. We'll be back next week.
See you next week.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
We will